Legend of the Shattered Halberd, Volume 1, Pressing Official Business. I am the great and glorious General Wei Yang, emissary of the Imperial Court on a royal mission. I demand that you step aside at once. General, so the great and glorious is a military rank now, huh? I thought it was a civil office. Mer responded with not a moment's hesitation. Wei Yang's face turned bright red. Oh, an ignorant borderland heathen seeks to educate me on the matters of the court? Mia was unfazed. I would be surprised if they'd overhaul the entire government bureaucracy in the space of a few years. Two broadsword-wielding martial artists in Wei Yang's party burst out laughing. Haha, so ends our grand journey to the capital. The cart finally makes it past 1,000 miles of checkpoints, only to get gridlocked like this at some tiny little inn out in the wilderness. Ha ha ha! Rin stared intensely at Wei Yang's crimson-coloured cheeks before suddenly declaring, "You're a woman! A female officer disguised as a man!" The claim was accentuated with a prod of his finger. "An astute observation," came the response from one of the martial artists. "She is in fact the Secretary of Ceremonies. The two of us are military officers, one from the Imperial Guards, the other from the Imperial Escorts, both versed in polearm and sword. We are serving the office of the Imperial Grand Minister on secondment, and we are here under orders to retrieve the ominous swords." Although the part about the great and glorious General, although that's made up, the bit about being here on official court, business is not. The other martial artist chimed in to say. The ominous sword was something that Mia had heard of. The story was that an iron meteorite had fallen from the sky 5 or 6 years ago, and convention dictated that as nature's treasure it belonged to the imperial family. However, a swordsman by the name of Feng had taken it for himself and used it to illegally cast 9 swords. It was said that the ominous swords were cursed by the meteorite and could drain people's intellect. Naturally, they had caused quite the stir in martial artist circles. "Oh, good for you," said Mer as he shut the toilet door. "It'd be even better for me if you got yourself out from that toilet, now." Her disguise exposed, Wei Yang gave up trying to compose herself and spoke in her normal voice. She sounded more charming than one would expect, given the circumstances. "Officer Wei Yang is a cultured lady of the court. Unlike us, she cannot resolve her pressing official business by simply finding a discreet spot in the wild. Please, hurry up!" Mia washed his hands and exited the toilet, and sat down at the table with the two martial artists. It is not every border town that we encounter one so familiar with court affairs. The one that seems to be the Imperial Escort sizes up Mia. "Might I inquire as to your personal history?" "My father, Meeting Glen, was Minister of Imperial Banquets. He was framed for embezzlement of funds intended for the Imperial cuisine. He then resigned from his post and returned home." Mia paused to scratch his chin before continuing. "My old man's not been himself ever since it happened. I still intend to go back to the court one day and clear the Mi family name."